If you want the resizing to happen in a specific ratio, you can use the aspect ratio option. So this is a div element and I have set the height and width of the div element like this. That is, the width is 200 and the height is 100. And for this second div element, I have set the width to be 100 and height to be 20. Now I am going to set the value of aspect ratio to be true for the first box. So let me set the value of aspect ratio, R needs to be capital, to be true. Now what will happen when the element resizes? It will maintain its original aspect ratio. So the original aspect ratio is 2:1. So whenever we resize it, it will be in this particular ratio. So let us try to increase the width of it. See, when I increase the width, the height is also getting increased in such a way that it maintains the 2:1 ratio. So to see the height and width, what we can do is we can add an event to this. There is an event named stop which will be triggered when the resizing stops. So let us try to display the height and width at that time so that we can see the height and width and whether it is in the specific aspect ratio or not. So let me try to display alert height. How we can get the height? We can get the height like $this.css of height. This will return the height, and we also want to get the width as well. So /n, this is to display the width in the next line, plus let me copy this and change this to width. So let's see whether we are getting the height and width. Let me refresh. Let me try to increase the width and stop. See, height 164 and width 327. So 164 into 2 is 328. So there is a slight difference, only 1 pixels difference. Okay, let me now try to increase the height. Height 255 and width 508. So it should be actually 510. So 2 pixels difference. So you could see that it is maintaining its original aspect ratio. Now instead of setting the value of aspect ratio to true, you can set it a number as well. So what will happen, instead of maintaining the original aspect ratio, it will maintain the aspect ratio that we specify. So let me copy this, okay, and change the value of aspect ratio to some other number. So I am making it 3, and let's see, refresh. Let me try to resize this. See, the height is 105 and the width is 315. It's exactly thrice, right? 105 into 3 is 315. And let me also try to increase the height 220, width 660. So here we are able to see that the aspect ratio is the value we have specified. So here the aspect ratio is 3 because here the value of aspect ratio is set to be 3. And here the original aspect ratio is maintained as we have set the value of aspect ratio to true. So you can use the option aspect ratio if you want the resize to happen maintaining the aspect ratio. If you want the aspect ratio to be the original aspect ratio, the value should be true. And if you want to set a specific aspect ratio, you can set a number as the value of aspect ratio option.